hit it, you can. Can you move that? Because I don't like that there because I can't see the record. Oh, better.
Mo better, Mo cheddar.
Because if I couldn't see that thing flashing, the whole time I'd be wondering, like, what if it stopped?
Is it a go?
What if it stopped?
Is it still a go?
In the middle of a recording, and we didn't know it, and here we are, talking away, and then that's like stop recording, but I can't see it because the red light's not blinking. And
I can hear in your voice that now you've started.
Have we started?
Your cue, your vocal, your
no, I was
tone
getting
of
amped up.
voice.
I was getting amped up about that flashing light, and if I can't see it,
I can tell that it's time. I guess this is the time we start. Mark it down.
Hey, welcome.
Welcome to the Sharing Needles with Friends.
Now that
podcast.
we're in. Thank you guys for showing up today.
Yep,
we're in the show now. I was talking about my neuroses of being able to see the red record button because it flashes and. Like the jerk he is, Derek moved a mouse pad over top of the blinking light.
I need to sit down farther.
You can pull the...
Oh, look at that.
Dude.
You know what? It makes me look dumb, but I don't care. Man, I feel more comfortable because I can get my legs under the table.
I'm so much taller.
Let me see these other angles here.
Oh, yeah, great. Dude, look at that.
I look great
You're
there.
Still in frame.
You look really good there.
I can always move it if you need to.
You look great.
Oh, I still look just like me.
You look great.
Just like me.
All right.
And then look, so we got natural lighting in here again today instead of the darker sort of like mood lighting we've had lately because we've had a long week. Yeah. Like with our work and like
we're having a morning feeling. It's not morning anymore. We started to have a morning podcast.
Right. We decided
it didn't work out.
For our Patreon listeners, you would probably be used to getting this on Friday morning. Mm-hmm. But now you're gonna get it Friday afternoon. That's just what it is.
That's just what's gonna happen.
And for everyone else, it won't affect you at all. You'll still have the regular release on Monday.
Go out of the way. Start out the gates. Let's tell people. Patreon. Oh, we have a Patreon.
We always forget to do that until the end, and then we always trail off. You're right.
I know.
We do have
and
a Patreon.
I hate to tell people, like, hey, we have a thing where you can give us money, but we do have a thing where you can give us money if you'd like to.
That's true.
And it's Patreon.
Patreon.com/SNWF Cult. And you can
That's
also
a lot,
get there.
Though. Just go to our website.
Yeah. You can also get there just by going to sharingneedleswithfriends.com because if you can't remember our website.
Or if you go to Instagram, it's in one of the Linktree things, right?
You don't care enough. It is in Linktree on all of our bios. But yeah, like basically just remember to go to our website, sharingnewswithfriends.com. If you can remember the name of the podcast, you can get to, because our website is so simple.
You know what? I bet if you're even watching this on YouTube.
You've already been to the website, probably.
Well, maybe.
Or,
I mean, maybe I'm sure our website is available there too, right?
Yep.
I don't know how all this works.
Yeah, dude, I
don't do the uploading. That's not
you. Definitely.
I don't do the uploading.
Not the heavy lifting guy over here. More of an ideas guy. Listen, I'm giving you props though. More of an ideas guy. It comes up with things.
I do edit process.
Sure, he does edit.
I add clip art sometimes.
Clip art's fun. We've learned that adding clip art
cut
is
teasers.
Amazing.
I do the dirty work. Okay.
I do my due diligence. I make it happen, man. Oh, if
I add my presence.
So I'm near the end. Sadly for me, of Tudors.
Yeah.
If I were the king right now, bro, I would put you in so much contempt.
I'm sure you would.
I wouldn't really. But,
no, you would.
The more I've watched it, though, I think odd thing that I found out about myself the other day is like, hot take. I have a different view of Henry VIII after watching this than like the world view of Henry VIII. And I'm kind of like, in a weird way, I'm like, yeah, Henry, you're right. Yes, I found myself... Last night, I found myself like in certain situations, like siding mainly with him because when I would think it through, I'm like, well, okay, it's a stretch, but he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Should they die for it? No. But he's not wrong. And in history, things were done different back then than they are now. He's not wrong. I don't know, man. Henry VIII.
First of all, it's
Tudors,
odd that
like,
you have a hot take on Henry VIII. That's just weird that you would even consider a hot take on Henry VIII. Second of all, You're making your opinion on a fictionalized television show that probably...
It's based off of the real guy. It's like history.
Based
it's history.
off of...
And
history
his wives.
is written by the winners, bro.
History's written... You sound like an inspirational... Like motivational speaker right now.
It's not inspirational.
Guys, history
that should be
is
terrifying.
Second
that should
place.
be terrifying, not inspirational.
Second place is first loser.
You're
right.
I do need to take some things that I say and put eagles flying down on posters with.
That would be just so good.
Like
we're gonna add that to our merch collection,
jets.
which we already know we're gonna make a shirt called.
Yeah. Look, I'm wearing one of the old school shirts.
Oh my god! Oh, dude, I
didn't even think about it until
and the artist of said shirt, our friend Aaron, just did my hand.
Oh yeah, look at that bad boy. That's fresh.
It is fresh, and
that's
it doesn't look as good as it will look once it's like popping.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, she's amazing, and she gave me that upgrade 2 days ago on our normal podcast day, which is Wednesday, and we just kind of kept pushing it because like things happen.
What were we talking about?
So we started with like talking about work, and then I was talking about my love now for Henry VIII.
Oh yeah,
and
hot takes. Stupid
take
for
Henry
VIII. Dumb thing to have. You can just say your opinion on it. Second,
I guess you're right. I guess a hot take doesn't matter anymore because
it's not hot. It's not hot. It's 1500s. It's a little past.
You're right.
The due date.
And maybe other people agree with me that like Henry VIII maybe was painted in a bad light to be the villain, but maybe he wasn't that bad.
He was bad by default to today's standards. So let's go ahead and say that everything he did was bad in today's standards. If anybody did any of the things that he did.
But it was a different time.
Okay, listen to me.
Together, it was a different time.
Son of the Confederacy over here. Listen.
Oh my.
I know, that was a stretch. But I was doing it to prove a point. Like, you can't say it was a different time. It is bad. It is bad.
Answer me this.
What is reality?
Or was it not a different time?
Did we not have a discussion about what is reality?
We did.
And is time a perception or is time reality?
Time is reality.
No, time is
what you perceive.
Time is what we have.
But it's real.
It's not real. It is not real.
But you feel it. I'm feeling time right now.
No,
I'm feeling you filling my time with words that make no sense, trying to like overanalyze my love of Kingdom.
Not to get too metaphysical here. But if you think about it,
I love this.
Time is experienced differently across the board.
Right. Everyone has a different experience.
Sometimes you experience time slowly. Sometimes you experience time quickly.
And that's
so it is a variable thing.
Some days fly by, some days are slow.
I'm telling you now, with all that we know and all that we have grown and evolved as a species since the 1500s, can you not, without a shadow of a doubt, look back and say the things that he did were bad? And he was probably...
For the time, he was doing what he had to do. But yes, they're bad.
Okay.
And I mean, I'm sympathetic. I always...
And also, it's stained with the fiction of making a good show. So
it definitely is, and the smoke show that plays Henry VIII just doesn't stop. So it's fine. He's just a good character, and he just rocks that part.
Yeah.
Like,
what's his name?
I mean,
is it something?
Jonathan Rhys Meyers. He's one of those guys that has like the three names, and if you have three names, don't have.
I'm trying to think of more three-name people right now.
There's a lot, but like just have two.
And all I can think of is Bret Easton
Jonathan
Ellis.
Taylor Thomas, Bret Easton Ellis, Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Again, Jonathan Thomas was his name. His name was Jonathan Thomas.
Thomas.
Or if you want, go by Taylor Thomas. I don't care. Don't go by Jonathan Taylor Thomas. You don't need. I don't go by my first, middle, and last name.
I would have gone by Jonathan Taylor Thomas. It just rolls off your tongue. It's just like you hear it said once, you're like, you know what, that just sounds right. I'm going to do that.
It does roll off your tongue, but it also just have a first and last name, though. Also.
It's a stage name, though.
Mainly have.
I mean, they pick the most interesting version of the name.
Actors do like to change up their name, because I think I've read that Brad Pitt's name isn't actually just Brad Pitt.
It's Brad Word. It's technically that.
There's other ones, though, that we know that are like even crazier, but like people like, and this is a for instance, this isn't one of them. So Rudy's checking.
Sorry, I was getting like parent notifications from like school thing.
Let me real fast just check my Facebook.
And I just wanted to make sure it's like today wasn't a half day, right?
Facebook.
Because I was just worried about it. Like
oh, you mean you were worried that you left your kids at school?
Well, yeah. Like anytime I get one of those,
just had the feeling
it's like the parental notification app or whatever. And most of the time
shit.
It's just the superintendent has a comment.
It's
but
mainly that.
I see that come up and I'm like, just in case, let me check.
Has it ever been one of those?
The power just went out.
Technical problems were fixed.
Not really sure.
Not really sure why.
Not really sure what about it.
We can basically just say, snap, we're like out and back in. But
I feel like I'm riding too low still.
Yeah, see, he gave it. He was here and he went.
I'm there now.
Straight down.
Look at me.
And then he went.
Picture me.
Picture me.
Picture this.
Yeah, it's hydraulic.
Petri dish?
I was gonna say picture me, but I couldn't think of anything that was clever
Picture
with
me rolling.
hydraulics.
What were we talking about before?
Jonathan Taylor Thomas, 3 name people. Don't have 3 names. Have 2. And you were trying to think of other ones. There's William Butler Yeats.
That's a pretty.
Yes.
I mean,
that one's okay. That passes.
Is that some kind of humble
Honestly,
brag? It feels like a humble brag.
It's one of those
you
things.
Even saying it.
Oh, because I know it, and you don't think the average listener knows it. Oh,
well, no.
And you just implied.
No, I'm just saying I'm just saying I don't think I've ever heard him refer to like
his whole name.
Like usually it's just Yeats. Like if someone's talking about Yeats.
To the average, to the average person.
It's like just because you know their middle name doesn't mean that you can say that they're there.
If you're not into poetry, then you would definitely just say, "Oh, you mean Yeats?"
I know.
I don't know who he is.
I know.
I've heard of him.
I know.
I don't know his writings.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh, dude,
there's a good one.
We just found out yesterday that you are an INFJ, and
no, I'm an INFP.
Oh, that's right. I'm the J. You got P, right?
How J of you?
I already
just
knew that.
I know. I'm the same thing as you.
I already knew that I had the J part of my INF, but pretty similar, man. He's always heard of the test, the Myers-Briggs, and decided yesterday when I was reading off a list of like famous people.
I still don't know.
Mahatma Gandhi.
I still don't know how much
INFJs.
Because there's some people that are crazy about that thing.
Yeah, I know. It is like
that's a little bit too much. I like it because
test that most people use. Like CIA and stuff. Like organizations use these personality tests. CIA was just an example of like a high level that they've got their own. They don't use the Myers-Briggs. They're on to. They've got their own. They just implanted.
They tapped into the collective consciousness with some giant mainframe, something with the super collider, and stuff like that, right?
Super collider.
Yeah.
Is this Battlestar Galactica?
Yeah.
Cool.
No, what's the thing called? What's the thing? CERN. Is that where they do the atom?
Oh yeah.
They do it there probably.
Oh man,
yes. Something there. There's something there that probably just tells them like.
That's true.
What's Gene about to do?
They've got that technology.
Like, call CERN. See what Gene's about to do. Let's call CERN.
If we've thought of the technology and whether it exists, yes. The answer is probably whether it's from the aliens that help us out from time to time with things. If you believe in that sort of thing, some people do.
If it doesn't now, it will eventually. And time is relative. That we've discussed. Remember, you seceded to the fact that I was right and you were wrong about all that. And
I don't remember that exactly the way that I don't remember conceding.
Remember how you were wrong about the Tudors? Remember you said time. It was a different time then.
It was a different time. It was the 1547. It was a much different time than 2022 in every way. I mean,
I'm just saying, don't let Showtime make you think Henry VIII is a good guy that you can get behind and support.
That long way around just to get to, hey man, don't support Henry VIII. He was
it doesn't do you any good to support him.
In royal news, though, rest in peace to the Queen, who lived longer than any other female monarch in history.
Wow.
I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't care much about the royal family and all that stuff.
It's cool. I don't pretend to understand any of it.
I know.
I can't
It's
even
just
have an
cool.
opinion on any of it. I mean, yes, someone died.
But
that's
I also
sad.
right, it is. But also, I mean, like we have friends that are British, and they're like, well, but the royal family's pointless.
Yeah, but then
And so, like, there's so much.
I don't know who the
history,
people that the
though,
royal family matter to, though. Is
I don't either. I'm ignorant to how
I don't know how it all
over there
works.
because it's not Parliament. So I don't
Yeah.
either. Just wanted to acknowledge that was a thing
Yeah.
that happened, and
it did happen.
that was one of those things that was really sad.
Way to talk about death.
We were the other day talking about an evolution of sorts from like our earlier days. If anyone remembers T-shirts from a brand called Big Johnson.
Oh yeah, Big Johnson shirts. Oh God.
Speaking of different times, right? Like from 1547 to now, obviously different times. There was a time in the 1990s and I'd say early 2000s where wearing these shirts that were Big Johnson.
Yeah. I mean, do you know?
Innuendo.
I wonder if everyone just knows what Big Johnson shirts are, right?
Liquor and-
That doesn't take any explanation.
Just in case it does, we did bring our.
I don't know though. I'm old, and sometimes I don't know like the.
That's actually.
I don't know where the distinction is cut off between like what I know is just like, oh, that's just obvious between
Because
like,
that existed.
younger people that.
Yep.
Why should they know that?
I know exactly what you mean. Let's see. So I'm going to pull some of these up, and we're going to see what some of these great logos were. Oh wow, these are. I mean, they're all going to be real bad.
What's this one?
So that one was Johnson Fishing Goods. When it's easy to reel them, it's easy to reel them when you've got a Big Johnson. That was on a shirt that a 14-year-old would wear to Disneyland.
Like kids wore these shirts all the time.
El Grande Johnson Tequila. Never mind the salty taste, just swallow the big worm. And a 14-year-old wore that to Cancun, like with his family.
Oh,
for
it's probably
sure,
it's definitely sexist and also
Big
something
Johnson.
racist. I'm sure.
It's time to ditch these masks.
What? I don't understand that one.
That one, I think.
It's time to ditch those masks.
Oh, because they're wearing masks as their bikini bottoms, bro. It's political and...
Oh, this must be a new one.
Big
You
Johnson
threw out
must-
a new one.
It still exists.
No. Someone made this.
I mean,
and
I'm sure.
photoshopped it. That's-
Sure. Big Johnson mullet.
Is this a real thing? Are these really different
These are
offshoots
shirts
that
you
I've
can
never heard
actually
of?
buy, yes. When you are all business up front, you party whenever you want. Okay, not as bad as this one. Big Johnson bass boats.
Like that last one wasn't even talking about dicks
Because
anymore.
nothing beats landing a large mouth on your Big Johnson.
You just sounded like the Macho Man Randy Savage when you said that.
Right idea.
Could you please not do that?
Yeah, I know that was kind of weird. I don't know how it came out that way. I wanted to go somewhere else with it, and then it like dropped.
Oh yeah,
Big Johnson. Yeah. Big Johnson hunting season. Drop a load in the chamber and go deep in the bush.
Ooh, I don't like this voice.
I'm telling you,
You are
dude.
like Howard Stern in over here right now.
Because
Who are
they're just so
you?
dirty. I can't say it in my regular. If I said it, drop a load in,
Drop
the,
a load in the
chamber
chamber.
and go deep in the bush. It's hard for me to say that in like any normal.
Well, you've
like,
said it like 2 or 3 times by now, so it's not too hard.
hard to say normal like I'm talking right now, like how I would speak, but that pulls me on my cadence because it's just what
Man, do people? I've not seen.
people be popping some blowers when you fire up a Big Johnson.
Oh, these are homemade.
These
Etsy
are
shirts or
definitely
something.
homemade. Bowling balls. This one was good. I remember this one. She'll always get a sweet release when she's playing with your Big Johnson. Oh, and
Yeah,
see,
let's stop reading the Big Johnson shirts right now.
yeah. I mean,
Can we like move past like actually reading out all of the things?
Yeah, I mean,
because it's starting to make me feel like I am
the whole reason
supporting Big Johnson, which I'm absolutely not gonna do.
Oh, you love it, dude. The reason that even is a thing is because we had that discussion that like there was a time and place where like what I just read. No. I say there's a time and a place, but like I think it still happens. No. There wasn't a time and a place for it at all. It's gross, and it's like now that that was the realization we had the other day was like, you remember when you were like 14 or 15 and you thought they were like oddly cool when you'd go into the store and it was like, let's see what new ones they've got. Liquor in the back, poker in the rear.
It was definitely marketed that way.
It was though.
Like they put it in department. They had it
in the kids.
Does anybody remember Goodies? They had them there, the same place you could buy Bugle Boy and Dockers
and Duckhead.
You
could get your Duckhead khakis and your Big Johnson
and you
shirt.
Sneak off. It's almost like this secret little section that's not secret at all.
It was always kind of in a corner.
Big Johnson and co-ed naked shirts, and you're like,
yep.
Of course, if you're 10, 11, 12 years old, you're gonna like really want to go look at all
to know what all of that has to offer. So I just was curious, and so this morning I pulled up Google and just saw like, what are some shirts that are going around right now? Like, because Big Johnson, like you said, I don't think it exists anymore, and I pulled a couple.
I mean, I know that
and these are funny.
Bad things exist, but like I just don't know. Oh, what is that?
The stock one is great because it says, "I'm not a gynecologist, but I'll take a look."
Let me just died a little bit. I mean, what are these coming from? I need the background story. Where do these shirts come from?
There are various websites on there. I found literally how I found everything that you're about to see.
Okay.
I literally just got onto Google and typed vulgar space T shirts, like filled out.
Yeah.
I clicked on it. And I just clicked on the top few. One of them that's the worst.
Yeah.
Comes from, I guess, like maybe the newest age of what Big Johnson was. Okay. As far as like being a brand that has multiple shirts. But
do you remember the Chit Happens shirt?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Chit hits the fan. Yeah.
Yeah, that's real bad. Those are real bad.
Those were real bad.
Two-seater. Yep, that's a shirt that you can buy if you wanted to wear that in public.
Would never wear it.
Nope.
It's at least clever. Like in like
baseline.
Like it's baseline clever.
On
like it's more like I'm not saying it's clever. I'm saying as for
you're talking Bobcat Goldthwait versus like Bill Hicks level comedy here. Like,
what are you trying to say right
Bill
now?
Hicks is like the smarter, and then the Bobcat is the more like, I mean, I love Bobcat.
Bobcat Goldthwait is a national treasure.
He is, and I love him, but Bill Hicks is the more classy and philosophical of the two, right? This is the...
I like
still, you can
basically what I'm saying is if I was critiquing this, I was taking all my hatred for probably the person that made it. If I take all that away and I'm critiquing like, nice simple design.
I like those arrows. I like the shadow amount that they gave.
It's fine. It's simple enough. It's
the
not
font.
It's like, okay, you're going to be crass, but don't be gaudy.
You can't be both.
You can't be both. Don't be both.
Don't be crass and gaudy.
Yeah.
One at a time.
If you're going to be crass,
you're right. No, be
simple. You don't need to throw all this extra garbage in with it.
Dude, that makes so much sense.
Okay, I'm just trying to help.
I love that.
Oh,
I love my life, my country, and getting pegged. If you don't like it, kiss me about it.
I would wear that shirt.
I mean,
I don't agree with.
Pegged?
I mean, I'm not.
What is that?
I'm not down for getting pegged, but I would wear that shirt because it's pretty brilliant.
If you don't like it, kiss me about it.
I feel like the person that made this one knows what they're doing and they're being funny.
You think you think this is someone like if you were to sit down and try to make a vulgar T-shirt, like, okay, well, this is like as bad as I can go. It's kind of silly, but it has a funny ending.
Yeah,
kiss me about it.
Yeah, it takes you. There's like a progression you go through that a feeling like I love my wife, my country. Like, oh, this is like really trashy. And getting pegged, what the
we're
fuck?
patriotic
and
now.
if you don't like it, kiss me about it. And then he leaves you like, oh,
Kiss me.
I probably like you more than I did at the start of this sentence.
By the time you got to the bottom of the shirt, you liked it more than what you thought you were going to like. Yeah, this one, rock beats scissors, paper beats rock. Scissors beat paper. Nothing beats a blowjob.
Please, the voice. It's got to go.
But you have to deliver.
It's got to
you have to have a
go.
radio announcer voice.
That's not radio announcer voice. That's like,
Well,
you sound like an animated snake. It's like it would be this real creepy, like hard to get at. Ooh,
I could be. Yeah,
I don't like it.
I didn't like that either. That was
I don't
really
like
weird.
it.
She was born and raised in the Wisha Bitch Woods. I just liked this one
that's a good
because
shirt.
I was like, okay, you know what? Like, there's a lot of real bad ones, but like,
that's a great one.
Like-
I like that one.
it's so cheesy, and it does look like all the basic shirts that like you do see kind of everywhere. But like for a girl, sort of like
Yeah, I like
middle finger.
I like sort of badass
Sure,
stuff made in the live, laugh, love style of design.
Yep.
I like
Yeah. Like it's fine
the contrasting.
because they're making this knowing they're being like they're leaning into that
Yeah,
style, but they're making it theirs.
yeah. It's like you're taking a
fine with
Precious Moment doll and like putting like black eyeliner on it and like devil horns and pitchforks and stuff.
Anna L. Pounding, 24, the backdoor candidate. Anna, anal
I get it.
pounding.
And that was just
That one's just on the nose, but like that was the first one that came up for me.
It seems like you got to do a whole lot of like telling a story to.
Yeah, because like someone might look at it and be like,
is this a political narrative?
Because like someone could see that and think like normal humans do,
Yeah.
and see this in public and say, Anna L. Pounding.
I think they're saying that.
Oh, who is that?
The
Is she-
2024 presidency election part is probably going to be like an anal pounding.
Oh, well,
Maybe
I didn't
that's
read
what it's
that
trying to
far
say.
into it, but I get that. I know, I totally get
like,
that vibe from this. Yeah.
That could be. Maybe that's their statement. It just took a while to get to it. At first, you're like, oh, anal pounding. That sounds. No. Oh, there's a reasoning.
There's a
behind
reason.
it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you say sharing needles with friends and people think you're talking about heroin, and you have to explain to them it's about record
Yeah, the
needles.
other day when I was leaving,
It's like, why did we do this to ourselves?
Yep. I was telling a buddy about it, and I was leaving the store, and he said, "Oh yeah, I was gonna look on Spotify. What's the name again? Mm-hmm. Oh, sharing needles with friends." And there was like a couple customers in there.
Yeah.
And I felt the need to say,
Yeah.
it's a podcast, and it was named after record needles. Mm-hmm. I had to say that before I left the room. Like I literally felt that. Like I'm just gonna throw that in there as my last little.
Yeah,
toss
but
in.
a lot of times I forget that I have to do that because I know, like, it's like I know what it is, obviously.
But like I couldn't
I'll talk
imagine. Like
about
it's so funny because
it's lost its other meaning.
the
to
shirt
me.
you're wearing right now, my dad has in like.
Oh yeah, my mom
3 or
wears
4
it
colors
all the time, everywhere.
And I was just down and visiting my parents about a weekend ago. Yeah, and he was wearing. On 2 days, one day he wore gray, and one day he wore that the next day. My dad just like wears the shirt. He loves them.
Well, it's because it's
and he just wears them as like lounging
extremely
shirts.
comfortable.
They were, yeah. We got a guy, and we'll have some new ones coming. We got some new shits coming.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And it's gonna be nice. And we got some like fresh designs because we want to start like putting things more than just like one logo tee. Although you know
It's a
you
classic.
can't go wrong
It's
with
good.
a logo tee. So
It should always exist. I think
it can't go away.
can't go away.
There will always be the vintage 2014 SNWF shirt in rotation.
For sure.
But we got some new shits coming that are going to be really cool, and I'm excited about it. Okay, so this is where I found the new Big Johnson era. Okay, so there's 2 different ones. There's all natural Cummins cider.
I've heard Dickens cider. But that was a joke. That was like a joke on like
It's the same company.
Radio
hard
shock jock.
Dickens cider. Every girl wants a hard Dickens cider. And I'll tell you what's fun.
Trashy. I swear, I remember them doing that on like Mancow or Stern. They would do prank phone calls or something about Dickens cider, or they'd do some kind of joke about it.
Well, luckily for us, my brother, we have the internet, and I went to Hard Dick Insider's website.
Oh, why?
And looked at the reviews.
You're going to get the worst ads coming up soon.
I'm going to get served some really bad.
Yeah,
you're right.
Your algorithm's going to be.
But I just had to share, it's one of those things where like, okay, you have moments in life.
Yeah.
That you're forever different from that point on.
Yeah.
Like you hit something and you say, oh.
Yeah, things changed.
That exists? Oh. Like, that is a thing. You've just made that. You'll never be the same again because like Big Johnson, again.
Yeah.
We just remembered it, but it's always going to be there. And you're going to remember so many of those shirts because they're just so bad. It was a moment in your life that you read that shirt when you were probably way too young. Yeah. But like when I saw these reviews, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's right. There are people like this out there in the world. And that's fine. Yeah. We have a very diverse population of people, and that's amazing. I am in love with the diversity of our culture, right?
Sometimes.
Like, most of the time. Most of the time. But I think that, we as America is very much the give us your broken, humbled, poor, the melting pot that you were always told as a kid that it is.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that's what it is. I grew up in Virginia Beach.
Oh, right. It is. Like, it takes all kinds. But I'm talking about the people, the demographic that like the shirts of these. I don't know.
I don't either. I don't know those people, but I know they exist, and I am probably around them more often than I would think.
Yeah.
People that would wear Hard Dick Insider shirts.
Maybe we just don't go to enough like bars anymore. Maybe that's the thing.
One of the best quality t-shirts I have in my collection. Absolute laugh a minute when I turn up at my local bar wearing this and my camel towing shirt. Brilliant.
Camel towing.
Repeat order on its way. So this guy found it necessary to make...
It's a glowing review.
That is a glowing review of what we just saw. This guy is just proud in his shirt, right? He's just like standing proud, and he gave it a 5-star. What is it? Comfortable shirt, great clean print. Great clean print.
Oh God!
But you can tell he's very proud of it, like the way he's standing.
He might be.
He seems quite proud of it.
He's
5 stars.
He's at attention.
5 stars. That's the one. That, we got these guys right here.
Oh
man, husband, wife.
Oh wow.
And before I go there, this one even says, dudes. Yeah, right. How do I flash that?
How do you do that?
I'm gonna fix that on the people's feed so they don't see what we just saw.
The people's feed.
Dudes. The people. Oh, I'm sorry, I had to do that. Dudes, who I don't think of you guys that way. Also, sorry.
What?
I just did the Kings like go away because people.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think of fans that way.
You do.
Go ahead. I don't. But dudes, who else can get their girl to wear a Dick Insider shirt? And he did.
He did.
He did it. He
got your girl to do it.
Girl, he got his old lady.
Way to go, man.
He got his old lady to wear the Dick Insider shirt. And this one right here from Brian J. 5 stars. Loves it. Verified purchase. So we know.
His name was Brian.
We know he bought it.
I wish his name was Brian J. 5 stars. You said it so fast together that sounded like that could have been his name.
Brian
that could have
J.
been
5 stars.
Like he could like a 3-name guy.
That's true.
Brian J. 5 stars.
That's what we're gonna refer to this guy as. Brian J. 5 stars. Okay. Love the shirt, and the ladies love it more. And in the picture, you see a classy lady giving another classy lady some attention, and it's just
don't shame them for that.
I'm not shaming them at all. I think strip clubs are great. We've been
that guy.
They're obvious, but he's
the
one trying to.
I've not been.
You've been to a strip club before.
Well, I have.
Yeah, we were at that together. We don't have to go into it. Right.
I hate strip clubs.
Same.
I hate it. It's the worst place that's ever existed.
Voluntarily, would I ever go? No. Voluntarily,
do your thing. But right. No, I don't like being
for us. Right. I know dudes that love the strip club.
By the way, this was like way many years ago.
Oh yeah.
Don't put me in some
20s.
kind of argument with my family.
Oh no!
about me going to strip clubs
over
the last anytime in the last 20 years.
No, this was early 20s.
Okay,
early 20s. Sorry.
I just want to say, hey,
disclaimer,
listen.
guys. Hey, just in case you were worried.
Worst places.
Yeah,
probably just the ones I've been to.
Yep.
Or maybe not. Worst places though. Oh boy.
I wanted to show a few misconnections, and then we're going to jump into what we wanted to talk about tonight with some isolated vocal tracks and a little bit of. I'd like to talk a bit about natural versus learned.
Natural
talent.
versus learned talent.
Okay, so I have a theory, right?
Okay.
That maybe we'll do misconnections last. We'll do this first.
Let's take a picture away. Can we just picture?
Oh, hey, yeah, man, I can.
Just get that picture out of my face.
They don't have to see it.
Well, I didn't want to really stare at it the whole time.
No one's got to stare at that.
I don't feel like I can make like real conversation with that picture
while they're
in front
just
of my face.
hanging out. Yeah.
So
I was thinking the other day, I was like, okay, I was having a conversation with Josh, our friend, who also Josh will be coming on the show in coming weeks. Really good friend of ours, really loves anime. Derek and him are going to have a fucking killer episode, and I'm going to sit here and go,
yeah. But it's good. No, I think if Josh comes on, it'll be 3 perfect levels. Like
I agree. Yeah,
have no idea about One Piece,
right?
Really?
No.
I have
the base level. I've read the synopsis.
I have caught up on One Piece, so I have watched all of it up to
thousands of episodes,
right now,
guys.
Once.
How many episodes are there really?
But Josh,
I feel like there are thousands.
Is at master level One Piece, so he knows everything about it.
Dude, when he gave the synopsis, which is why I wanted him on the show in that regard, but also because he's a great speaker. Like, I love talking to Josh. I mean, Josh is amazing. Growing up, like, he went to Cornell. Josh is a very Josh and I, background, have known each other for about the same amount of time that we've known each other. My first job was at a Gadzooks. So that was the thing. I worked at Gadzooks and sold a lot of South Park shirts.
Gadzooks is like a place that would have Big Johnson shirts, but I don't know.
We didn't have them.
I don't know if that was the era then.
I don't think we were quite there yet.
That was the same era.
We weren't there yet. Not quite. We were close.
No,
there were dirty shirts.
The Gadzooks,
right? That's true. There were dirty shirts, but they got dirtier by then.
Right.
Like Big Johnson was like, "Oh, you're wearing that."
Gadzooks was probably more like mushrooms and stoner shirts.
Definitely. Yeah.
Spencer's.
We had lots of South Park though. For some reason, I just remember because it had just come out and it was huge when it came out. People bought Cartman shirts.
Oh, yeah.
Like they were like. Looking back on it, I'm like,
it was crazy.
And look,
time.
I
South
love
Park was
Trey
huge.
Parker and Matt Stone, and I even watched the live at Red Rocks performance they did the other day with Primus, and I loved it.
Oh, that's cool.
It was so amazing, and they sang the theme song live, and like they had this whole concert, and then they brought out Neil Peart, and Matt Stone was playing drums, and he didn't know that he was going to get to play like with Geddy Lee. And then Geddy Lee came out, and that was something that Trey Parker set up for him.
Oh,
it was like one of those moments where I was like, oh, dude. It would be like if I were able to talk to someone like Jason McGurr from Death Cab to play drums on your record.
Yeah.
It's like that kind of like, oh, whoa, what? You got who?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. My favorite drummer is going to play on my... It's one of those things. And so it was like really cool. And but yeah, I love South Park. So don't get me wrong. I love it. But dude, the amount of Cartman shirts...
Yeah, it was
all other like South Park related. We sold a character shirt for everyone because I remember we had this stupid box display.
Yeah,
so we had a character for everyone, and then we had just all these random shirts. The Cartman shirt would not.
If I had to guess,
I had people come in and get upset because we were out. Like they would say, "Do you have the Cartman shirt in medium?" And I would have to like, sometimes I would go in the back and like look and make sure we didn't have a box. I'm like, "No, I'm sorry, we don't."
If I had to guess, Cartman would have been the top. I bet you the next one was Kenny. For some reason, Kenny was always like...
Stan and Kyle were just the like... They got bought.
Yeah.
Like, but usually I found that people bought them like both together. Like they would buy it when they were like buying all four because people, believe me, were buying all four.
Yeah, dude,
and there was a discount if you bought all four.
It was so crazy how obsessed the world was with South Park when it was
huge.
Out. It was gigantic.
So I worked at Gadzooks. Big tirade there. I worked with Josh at Gadzooks. He introduced me because I was 16 at the time. He introduced me to bands such as The Clash. Never heard of them. I mean, I'd heard of them, never listened to them.
Right.
Until he gave me the right records to listen to and introduced me to the Pixies. He's the one that gave me Doolittle.
Yeah.
He gave me a CD one day, compact disc.
Yeah.
Right. At work, and he said, "You should listen to this, man. I think, listen to it on your way home, and I think you'll dig it." The first time I listened to Doolittle, that was my first injection into the Pixies.
Yeah.
And everything I knew about music then like expanded, because a lot of what we're about to play, like as far as the vocals, come from that era, come from like a 90s, because that's where we come from.
Right.
Hey, we're 90s kids. We're 90s babies.
Absolutely.
We love the 90s. And that's what we grew up in, and we love that music, and it's stuck. And we've always been into it. And I started thinking the other day when I was talking to Josh, he mentioned that he was going to go, or he had went way back in the day when he was, I guess, at Cornell, he went and saw Jeff Buckley.
Ooh.
Before he was big,
God.
Jeff Buckley.
Well, he wasn't big for long.
He wasn't big for long, but you know what I mean? Like, he did blow up for a minute.
I don't know. I don't remember what year he passed away and what, because he had Grace.
Yeah.
And then he had that
Josh
second
will be here. He'll
album
be able
that
to clear the
wasn't
record
all
up.
finished.
It was probably early. That was probably, I'll bet he had put Grace out, because I know he was big. But Josh didn't know what he looked like. He was that small still that Josh didn't like see him come out on stage and say, "There's Jeff Buckley."
Right.
He had no idea what he looked like. But him and his friends were there, and they were like this close to the stage, like as close as this table. And the roadie came out and set up bass, sound checked it, guitar, sound checked it, drums, sound checked it, all the same roadie, microphones, sound checked it, guitar, sound checked it. Goes off stage, whole band comes up. Jeff Buckley was that roadie that was like sound checking every instrument.
Oh wow!
By himself.
Yeah, that's
before
awesome.
the other musicians like came up and played their stuff, and that's so cool, because I love knowing that there are artists out there that are so particular about how things sound.
Yeah,
like
geez, that's awesome.
Like, yeah, your mix on stage counts too.
Yeah,
but I want this to be the way I want it to be. So Jeff Buckley, that got me into a thought of, he was one of those people that I think was just straight naturally talented, right? Like, I mean, like, he was very young when he put out that record, and it was phenomenal. He's fantastic.
Yeah,
like his voice is so emotive. Like,
oh yeah, there's nothing that can compare to people like him, I think.
Yeah.
Like it's just a different way of musicking.
And we've got some sound clips we're going to play here in a bit of him. But what it made me start thinking was, oh, hey, there are two types of musicians, and I think there are way more than two types of musicians. Not a blanket. This was a thought I had. This was a thought. There are two styles that I think of generally when I think of musicians now. When I like, for example, when I look at a musician, I generally make this, and I don't know why I've done this, but I've always done this. Ever since like maybe 10 years ago or so, when I started to become a pretentious music person, and then I became not that, because that's stupid.
Yeah.
Don't be pretentious about the music. Listen to whatever, right? So I started thinking, okay, Chris Martin.
Okay, Chris Martin. Coldplay.
Amazing. Chris Martin of Coldplay. Amazing vocalist. Love his voice. Love Coldplay up until a certain point. Like, really loved them.
And I don't hate Coldplay.
I don't hate them now. Yeah.
I just thought the
but I
new
super
stuff,
loved him at a certain point, and then it was just like, oh, okay, yeah, Coldplay is still releasing music. That's awesome. Glad.
Sort of fell off the track with the way that it was going, but, you know, to each their own.
Okay. Then, the same thought with Chris Martin. Okay, I can picture him playing piano, you know, and doing his thing from a young age, and learning how to be really proficient and really good.
Right.
Okay. But on the exact same, I look at a musician like Thom Yorke, and I think he came out of the womb, I'm a creep, like singing it hard. Straight up. Out of womb, he was just already music. He was already Thom Yorke of Radiohead. He came out just being the essence of a musician and an artist, and he knew how to make music because he's self-taught on piano and on guitar. He's like, it was all things that he just wanted to like put together, and I love that. And I feel like there's a difference. There's not a difference in like the level of, you know, the record, because a Rush of Blood to the Head hits me just as good as, you know, Hail to the Thief, you know?
Yeah.
Those records can play side by side, and I love them both a whole lot. But I look at artists and I think like, it's weird that I think every artist has a different level of they were born. Like, seriously, dude, Thom Yorke was, from day one, I'll bet the first time he ever touched an instrument.
I don't know.
And I could be wrong. I don't know this. You know, I
feel like that.
And maybe I'm putting Thom Yorke on a, maybe it's because I'm a big fan of Thom Yorke and I just think he just came out knowing how to make music.
I agree. He's phenomenal.
Yes.
All I'm saying is like, it sounds when you make that statement like Thom Yorke came out just already pre-built and Chris Martin,
but I'm not even saying
studied it and had to work for it. But it's like,
and I'm not even saying
super talented. Like,
true. Oh yeah.
It's just a different filter on self-expression, and I think that's what it boils down to more so than like this guy has more musical ability or this guy has less musical ability and had to work for it.
So you don't think that necessarily is a?
I think it's just no. I think it helps with music.
Yeah.
But I think Thom Yorke is able to probably just express himself through the medium,
and you can tell that
in a more interesting, full, in-depth way.
That makes sense. Yeah. I mean, Thom Yorke is my favorite vocalist,
but
of all time, and favorite lyricist of all time. Like, so I guess I do hold him like quite. But I love Chris Martin, because as we hear in this isolated vocal, his voice is so flawless. It's like, oh yeah.
But it's not that it's flawless.
I feel that.
It's not that it's flawless. It's that it's perfectly flawed. Like it's got the right imperfection. No one wants like a perfectly flawless.
You know, we're gonna go ahead and hear
stream of notes.
This is some,
but you can hear the feeling and emotion, and it's like you believe,
right?
You believe
exactly. Yeah,
that's the thing with anything. Anybody that talks and speaks at lectures or they're making music, but you know whether you believe their art or if you don't believe.
That's a pretty good way to look at it. Yeah,
like growing up playing in punk and emo bands and stuff. You'd play with bands, you'd be like, oh, these guys are artists. Like they are creating some songs, and then you play with bands that were like, these guys are like, they want to dress up from Hot Topic and be in a band, and they're technically good, but
for sure.
I don't believe what you're saying.
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And I wasn't trying to use Chris Martin as an example of someone who doesn't know what, you know, that is trying. I'm just saying, in me, I see two very different types of talents there. But again, Chris Martin,
it's not the type of talent though, I think, to me.
Because I mean, we're going to listen to The Scientist with isolated vocals right now. Chris Martin is beautiful. And then we're going to listen to even Radiohead isolated vocals for No Surprises. Now, vocally, you would probably hear this without music and easily say, oh, Chris Martin is a way better vocalist. But again, they're just very different. And in musical context, they're very different.
What standard are you going with,
because I love the way Thom Yorke sings in his. But I know that the average person, like I could play it for my mother. I could play her two of these.
I would see it more so similar of like saying, weird. Like putting a Josh Groban up against one of these and saying, obviously he's a better singer.
That's him, right?
Like,
is that him?
Oh, I don't know.
I think that was him.
I know he's one of the opera guys.
Yeah.
Like Michael Bublé or stuff like that.
I know him. He's in Bubble commercials, the water.
Yeah, that's funny. I always think that he's funny when I see him.
I like that about him, that he's playing into like, this water is called Bubbly. My last name is Bublé. Okay, fine.
I mean, make your money, dude.
Absolutely.
But yeah, pipes of gold. Make your money.
Seriously.
Yeah, it's like that's always. I'm always impressed by people that can sing that well. But then I'm like,
me too. The guy from Shearwater.
But I don't
has that operatic.
But I don't know how I would use that.
I wish that I knew how to do it because I like some.
It's
of
like
my
if I had a golden
vocalists,
arm, that'd be great. But what would I do with a golden arm? I'd have to like. I have to do stuff that I probably wouldn't want to do anyways.
If you
I
had
wanted to make real benefit of it. Like with that kind of voice, like I would love to have that kind of voice, but then I'd probably be stuck having to do like standards and being in.
But in what world are you ever going to have a golden hand?
In what world are you gonna have that good a voice?
Yeah, this one, if you try and practice enough, hopefully you only get one of them, and you don't get a golden arm unless you pay a lot of money. You could get a golden arm, but
it's like a lot of work to get to that kind of control,
and it's a lot of money to get
voice and stuff like that. It's just like I just don't know. It's just
that's
the
true.
end game would not be for me to sound like that. So I
see what you're saying. You have more of a natural approach.
I went through a lot of like choir and musical stuff. So, like, I did enough of it to know, like, oh, that was fun and I enjoy it, but I don't want to sing that way.
Right.
Because it's not fun to do that.
I get that. Yeah. You don't want to make a profession out of men's ensemble choir singing because, I mean,
but some
while
people
that
do,
exists,
and that's great.
It sounds great and I love it, but it wasn't
there's
your
certain,
path.
like, choir pieces that I hear now, and I'm still like, oh, dude, this still gives me sort of chills because I remember singing the baritone in this part and it just hits in this crazy cool way. And that's the full part of it.
No joke. And, you know, just so it's not like flagged as anything, I'm just going to play like the first 6 seconds just so you can see what I'm talking about. There is a good old, I mean, everyone knows this one, but when I hear anyone sing this, anyone sing Ave Maria, I just...
Oh, this will get flagged, but it's okay. We just don't play more than 30 seconds. Sure, it'll be fine. When's
the vocal line.
When's the beat kick in? Oh yeah, that's a classic. Always good. Okay, look up this. Look up.
Man, so that like every time I hear that song, I'm like chills all over.
Yeah.
Like there's something about just that song in general that just makes me like I don't care what setting. Like it's one of those songs that is pure emotion and in a vocal sense, you know, and that one obviously had other instruments.
Molded, the melody, everything about it.
I've heard it a lot done, you know, though, like with choirs of different types, and it's just one of those songs that makes you feel
it's
a thing.
You know what? Also, this is completely out of the blue, but what's the Christmas song? The Fall on Your Knees. That part is always one of those kind of parts that I hear, and I'm like,
dark and it's beautiful,
dude. No matter
I think that's why I love Ave Maria.
It just fucking hits you someplace. Look up Last Words of David. So we used to do this one back whenever in one of our choir things back in high school, and it's one that I always, for some reason, remember.
Last Words of David
being like real powerful and stuff. Maybe. Yeah.
That's big.
Like if you get a bit, that's too big a choir. You
that's
can't really
a big choir.
Oh, that's
man, that is
not that good either.
No, it's not.
Oh, that's even worse somehow.
Man, I think
maybe your volume right here is cranked.
I get those things, and I like those types of pieces. Like, they're just like, they make you feel a emotion that like, that's the thing about music. Yeah. That like,
when it hits, you feel no pain?
It's funny because when it hits, I was talking about that when I was getting tattooed with Erin the other day. She does a lot like me. I just asked like mid tattoo because the playlist that she was playing just like absolutely slapped. And I was like, man, so curious because like I love making playlists. How many do you have? Because I mean, she's a tattoo artist. She works every day. Yeah. Right there behind the desk with music playing. And she has clients of all sorts, obviously. And so she just has a bunch of different playlists. Right. That are, you know, anything from like some that are hip hop only, some that are like moody and depressed, like super depressing. Because she's like me. When you're depressed, do you want to listen to sad music? Some of us do that to ourselves. Some of us know not to. But some of us like really want to lean into just being in the sad. Yeah. And that's fine. But I told her
misery
that,
loves
like,
company. You know, you get the sad around so you can sort of swim around in it for a little bit. It helps you to navigate it.
I think that when we were talking though, because a couple hip hop songs came on and we're both big hip hop fans and you are as well. But I think that I've realized recently that the reason I love listening to hip hop so much, and it's 90% of the time, it's like what I listen to, like in the car or like whatever, because it doesn't make me feel something artificial. Right. Whereas like if I'm in the car driving just like to the Starbucks and I hear No Surprises,
Yeah.
all of a sudden I'm gonna feel emotion. I don't always want to be told like
Right.
like some days I want that feeling, like I want the windows down with the cool air, you know, and like I want to feel. I want to.
You
set
got to
a
be
mood.
ready for it because
it's a thing that like
it's such a rich feeling that like sometimes if you just want to just go on with your day, it's like you can get like stuck in it
easily.
You can get that like seasonal depression.
That and that's why you have to have those playlists of songs that just like don't make you feel.
Yeah.
That you just love hearing because they're just fun.
Yeah.
You know, or ridiculous, or just like a world we don't know. I mean, again, like that's why I love hip hop, is because sometimes
dude, it's like stories. It's the kind that I love.
Exactly.
Stories of like a life that I didn't live, and it's like it helps to.
And if you've heard J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, you know,
humanity.
Yeah, like aside, like I mean, it's.
But then there's stuff that like completely goes with the stuff. Like I listen to a lot of rap now that is very metaphysical rap, and I love it. It's so cool because that's the stuff that I'm into
now, which is good.
It's really
which
cool.
is really good.
Yeah.
So we're gonna. This is The Scientist.
Oh, take me back to the start. I was just guessing at numbers and figures, pulling your puzzles apart. Questions of science.
Kicks in with these
I love the harmony.
It's like it's like almost too pretty. Like how?
Tell me you love me, come back and haunt me. Oh, when I rush to the
I love hearing isolated vocals.
Yeah.
Like hearing these little things.
running in circles.
It's cool to hear them because I hear similarities in the same ways that I create little vocal tracks and stuff like that, and it makes me think like, oh, okay,
That's true. Yeah.
Other people sort of do the same thing that I do.
Other people work the same way as me.
Other people work the
That's
same
true.
Oh, it's such a shame for us to part. Nobody said it was easy.
I think so. Maybe a little bit. Can't tell.
Said it would be so hard.
Yeah, if it is, we can just replace it.
Yeah.
I'm going back to the start.
This ending.
Oh yeah. God, I love hearing
The with the.
I kind of feel it makes me feel kind of bad listening to it though.
Really?
Because
It's not the final.
well, no. It's like I know how I would feel if people heard my solo.
Oh, I
isolated
see what you're
vocal
saying.
tracks.
I see what you're saying. Right. Okay. So with that, like, but
I mean,
also,
I don't think Chris Martin cares.
I don't think at all. Why would you care if you had a voice like that?
No, this is
Man.
Thom Yorke from Radiohead. No Surprises.
It's so beautiful. It's like he just drops it.
Oh yeah, it's delicate, man.
I mean, that right there alone, like, you hear that? Just a little.
That's so good.
It's perfection. That is.
I love his voice.
For me, that is like vocal perfection. Like that's like it doesn't get any better than Thom Yorke when he harmonizes with himself, especially because that is like a sound
it's really
that
good.
only he can do. Even though in that song that we're both recording, I'm gonna try real hard. to sound as much like him as I can. Yeah. So yeah, those are great. But what started this whole isolated thing was, what blows my mind is that I'm going to play the background vocal to a song that you've known and loved probably for years. Stone Temple Pilots, Interstate Love Song. Okay. Now, you already know that Scott Weiland is near and dear to my heart. Like, other than Thom Yorke, like he is my favorite. He's my favorite 90s vocalist, easily, hands down. But he's in my top 3 favorite vocalists of all time. Like he is unreal. And I've always loved this song, but I've always heard the chorus, leaving on a southern train, the whole thing, as one voice. Yeah. And then I realized recently, wait, no, there's a harmony that I've never really noticed.
It blows me away that you thought that.
I know. Me too. It's weird that we thought that much different as hearing the same song as long as we have. But with it isolated, listen to what the background sounds like. Because again, this doesn't, as a musician, I would never think to write a harmony like this.
Leaving on a southern train only yesterday. Promises of what I seem to be, only watch the time.
It just feels slightly off.
But he's mirroring.
He's like, that part? Okay, so then here is the...
He's mirroring. He's staying on a 7th and just mirroring the exact movements he's doing with the lead vocal.
Here's his main. Everyone knows this. This is what I always hear with like that blend, you know? The other one in with it, but I guess I've just never noticed it being so awkward by itself.
Promises what I seem to be.
See, obviously
only watch the time go by. All of these things you said to me, leaving on a southern train only yesterday. You lie.
There's harmonies on the live part too, isn't there, in the main song, right?
Yeah. How crazy is that though? That like when you put it all together,
I mean, that's just the way that it works.
No, I'm talking about how it blends. Like that's what has always impressed me, is how voices blend. And talking about that, we pulled this because, fun fact about both of us that apply, you know, this is one of those big like truth reveals that like, I can easily say about both of us. Alice in Chains is a band that we grew up with a lot of people loving.
Yeah.
I at the time never liked them.
I had blind hate for them. I don't know why.
Me too. I always thought that I didn't like them, and it was because I guess
I think a lot of the crowd that liked Alice in Chains. Maybe I just didn't want to be part of the crowd that I knew that liked Alice in Chains.
Yeah, maybe that could be it.
And I think that's all it boils down to. And let's I mean, Rooster. I don't like. I've got weird things where I don't like words in songs that I think are stupid. Yep. I know that the Rooster song has like a deep meaning.
Me too. Right.
I know that now. If you don't know the deep meaning, then and you just hear someone say they're coming to snuff the rooster, and that's really the only thing I hear, because that's the only part that you know.
What does that mean?
Hearing it on the background on radio stations, it just sounded dumb. It still does sound dumb, but
it does really. Like it's very dumb. But this is down
gorgeous.
In a hole, and
this made me had to rethink my thoughts on them.
And we decided, okay, well, we loved the Nirvana Unplugged from New York and the Stone Temple Pilots live from New York Unplugged.
Yeah.
Why not if we were going to give it a chance, because we look at those albums differently. Like I love both of those live albums, but like different than I love their regular records. Right. Like that's just it's a stripped down Unplugged.
Same with Counting Crows.
View.
Counting Crows live is
that one is so fantastic.
The Unplugged and the VH1 Storytellers.
Oh, the VH1 Storytellers is
better.
One.
That thing's On a Wire. I think it's called On the Wire.
Yeah.
That has both of those, and it is the best.
It's really good.
Like it's like if you don't like Counting Crows, then you should listen to that, because it's way better. Better versions of the songs from the albums.
You should listen to them if you don't listen to Counting Crows, because I mean they're
sort of. I mean, that's not really a band that I'm like, you've got to listen to Counting Crows or Virtuosos. That's not what I mean. I mean, some of their older albums I really do like.
Maybe this year will be better than the last. Talk about someone that sounds close to Kermit. I'm sorry. I love him.
Randy Newman.
Yeah, that's a good one. I love Kermit. But I love Adam Duritz a lot. But like,
are you calling him Kermit, bro?
No, I'm not. But like when
Boo.
Okay.
Who are you, bully?
No.
Bully the man.
But I'm just saying, like, if you and I were just sitting here and you were like, oh, do you know that song, Long December? And I were to start singing it, like, the voice that I would automatically default to is that Long December and a reason to believe.
Yeah, but making fun of it sounds stupid, but I don't think his voice sounds stupid.
I don't either. No, I don't at all. But like,
Randy
I think
Newman,
he's got one of those unique voices that you can't do. But Randy Newman, you also can't. You can't emulate Randy. You could never be the man, the legend, Randy Newman. Which, you know, before we even play Alice in Chains, now we're already there. We're going to listen to some Randy Newman because how dare anybody give him the right? How dare anybody give him the right to make this music?
He got a lot of money for it. That's probably enough of that. Cause
all you need to hear.
That's Disney. We don't want to copyright infringe.
We don't. Disney. Who has the right to say, Randy Newman, you got a great voice. You should be a popular musician and make tons of money and be well known and do all of. Who? I want you. Please call me.
Why are you mad, bro?
I'm not mad. I've got questions.
No, I get it.
I'm not mad. I've just got questions.
We had this discussion earlier, and then we had time where you went off somewhere, and I was on my phone, and I was looking up stuff about Randy Newman.
Time went by.
It's not his fault that his voice causes a reaction in me that makes me angry.
Okay.
But I also can't help the feeling that I get when I hear it.
Fair.
And I was trying to find what the feeling was. Mm-hmm. And it's because anytime I try to emulate the voice, you got a friend in me, it makes me do things with my face and my body that makes me feel so stupid that when I hear him do it, I think I take...
You can only imagine that feeling, he has to look that silly.
I think I take the feeling that it makes to make that sound.
Yeah.
And I feel it a little bit. So it makes me
the lack
sort of like feel like something's happening to me.
It's an awkward feeling. Yeah.
I don't like to hear it.
No, his voice is overly...
I wonder if he's the same one that did because my kids used to watch Curious George all the time.
Oh, yeah. Curious George is good.
Surely I think Randy Newman did the Curious George song too.
I would guarantee it. I would guarantee he did. Palate cleanser. Here's Alice in Chains, Down in the Hole. Never thought I'd say that.
Bury me softly in
Dude, the way that they worked together vocally,
oh yeah, dude, they were
is just. You got.
down in a hole, out of control.
And
I think a lot of times
do that.
I think a lot of times people don't appreciate the harmony game. You know,
I think that's very true. It took me a long time to like realize even how much I loved harmonies, even though I already loved them. I just didn't know what it was.
Yeah,
I didn't realize like how big of
it's an instrument,
like how big of a deal it was,
and mixing it in to where it's not out in front, but it just helps get the point of the chord across.
Yep. and that's the thing. I didn't used to give it. Yeah. I don't know. I think I have a bigger appreciation now for. I think Thom Yorke helped break me out of that. And also, the more you listen and really deep dive into the Beatles, you hear different types of harmony styles,
and Beach Boys. Beach Boys.
Yes, Beach Boys for sure. Speaking of harmonies, we got Santa Monica.
Harmonies can also ruin things
from
too,
Everclear. So here is the main vocal for Santa Monica from Everclear, which again, this is a song we grew up with and just absolutely loved. Like I used to remember skateboarding to this all the time, and I loved this track.
I am still living with your ghost. lonely and dreaming of the west.
Sounds how I thought it would sound, though.
Yep. Background vocals. I guess he does very.
Oh, his background vocals are hilarious.
He just goes different places than I would have expected him.
They work, I guess, because
Oh,
Time, I don't wanna be your fallback crutch anymore.
like that to me.
Yeah.
Like it's just
you know, I
but
will
together.
Rising in my own weird way. I don't wanna be the bad guy. I don't wanna
It's buried and it just sounds like one big yell.
dance anymore. I just wanna
It sounds
be
less off though.
sunshine. I just wanna find some place to be alone.
but it's good though.
I get
Okay,
what he
so
did there with the alone.
There's a weird line, okay? There's harmonies that are sung really well,
Yep.
specifically hitting notes that will harmonize with the notes that you sing.
Yes.
And then there's harmonies that are like background feel things, you know? It doesn't have to be right on key.
It's not an
doesn't have to
octave.
be-
That's what we were talking about yesterday. Yeah, it's weird.
Like you just feel it within the way the music is,
Yeah.
or the way it's like you know what sound to make to fit in with
It's
what's
just
going on.
that one's really strange because like when you hear those together, it's like, oh yeah, I remember it
Yeah.
sounding that chaotic
Yeah.
in the song, but I loved it
Mm-hmm.
because I mean with the music and in context, it's a whole different thing.
Yeah,
And it's
mixing can make things
so this was
completely different.
the last one, Smashing Pumpkins, 1979, just because this is one of my favorite songs of all time. But I love how this sounds by itself.
We were sure we'd never see an end to it all. And I don't even care.
Now with some background effects and accompaniment.
We were sure we'd never see an end to it all. And I don't even care
Where's the
to shake these
some
zipper
background
blues. And we don't know just where our bones will rest to dust, I guess. Forgotten.
dude? I mean, like, so good that I even forgot how good it was until I heard it by itself, and then I was like,
That's
oh,
the cool thing. It's
right.
like he doesn't have a voice that is like.
I mean, I love Billy Corgan
good.
a lot, and I love
like.
the Smashing
I mean,
Pumpkins
but it
a
is
whole
good
lot.
though. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's good.
It is. It's really
It's
good.
perfect for what it is.
It's
But that's the thing. Like, there's not.
it's
like,
hard
when,
to
when
emulate
someone
Smashing
says,
Pumpkins, but I also couldn't
if anyone
imagine them
says
with another
someone
singer.
doesn't have a good voice, it's completely opinion.
Yes.
It's just complete opinion. Like, what is good? There's no
That is very
standard for
true.
good.
It's highly
His voice
that's highly
sounds
subjective.
absolutely perfect for the art that he's creating, and that's what it takes. It's being a complete package, and like that's why you get these people that are. You can tell you believe them.
Yeah,
Because everything
absolutely.
sounds like it should go together. And then you don't believe them. It's like when you've got this person making something that you know they don't really believe in, or they're just trying to make a hit, or they're trying to make the next like
and you know there's a lot of bands that are just manufactured just
SoundCloud
to
song
be,
or something like
Yeah.
that, you know? But then there's also SoundCloud songs that are some of the
I was
best
gonna say
songs
there are a
I've
bunch of
ever
like
heard.
SoundCloud artists that make it like they're like a thing now.
That's-
It's like a market. It's its own thing.
But it's also people can
and-
sit at home and make stuff and put it on SoundCloud, and it can be awesome, and someone can just go find it and listen to it.
That's true. That's true.
Like there's
That's
good with the
crazy,
bad.
man.
It's the
That
yin
is-
and the yang, man. It's like the
Duality.
things that I hate about the SoundCloud,
That's the-
Spotify streaming world that we live in. Damn, it's fucking awesome too.
Absolutely.
It's really shown me things that I would
That's-
never have probably had easy access to find out and listen
That's
to.
true. That's the duality of the two.
Like it's shaped me into more of a Renaissance listener of music.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
You know?
I think that anytime you can mature and feel yourself, like
Yeah.
knowing that you're making a growth, like, oh, you know what? I used to never give this a shot and I used to hate this, but you know what? I'm going to try.
Sometimes going to the record store when you're young is a liability because, like, you can't
true.
buy everything and give everything a chance. You're like, I'm going to the store and I'm going to buy maybe one or two
Yeah.
albums because I don't have money and
You can't just buy. Yeah.
I'm
it's
going to
true.
buy something that I already sort of
guess
think
things
I
are
know I
different.
love.
Things
And
are
but
different now
now
than they were when we
I
were-
can hear
yeah.
anything. Like,
Yeah.
oh, why did people care about this band at one point?
Yeah. maybe that's the thing is like I'm going back and I'm enjoying the old school like method.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we're in a instant gratification age where like, oh, you finish a song, you put it out, and then you have hits on it the next day, you know, and that's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's crazy.
Sometimes.
Speaking of getting hits on it, misconnections.
Oh boy! Wait, what's our time here? How long? Have we been doing
so we've
this?
gone for. It says 1:33 on the counter, but we started early, and we also took a break in the middle when the camera went out.
Okay.
So.
Okay. As long.
Okay.
I just didn't want it to because it might be a long.
Hey,
thing.
you know, guys, strap in. We'll go through these quick.
Strap on.
Maybe even.
We'll go quick.
Well, yeah. Okay. These are all of these are within the last week. I just have been pulling them as they came up. Cutie in gray sweatpants with a hug can change the world shirt. I was behind you in the line. You're looking good. Piercings on your cheek. Left it.
That's it?
He didn't say, hit me up. He said, you're looking good. Piercings on your cheek. This guy just drew. He started to go like, I met you and I want to meet up. And then he just dropped it. He gave all of this background. Gray sweatpants with a hug could change the world shirt. I was behind you in line. You were looking good. Piercings on your cheek. Is it a haiku that I'm not getting?
It might be. It sounds poetic.
I just thought it was weird that he just dropped it.
Yeah,
I don't know. It didn't say like,
weird, I'm sitting here trying to think of like the
context,
the reasoning.
Right. Yeah, reasoning. Not even context. Reasoning.
Like, and I start making up things like, okay, what if this is a female that is going to wear that to the good stop?
Right.
I don't know why they would want to do that.
Right. I mean,
like,
yeah, I don't. But again, he also just all he did was described her. So like basically, this guy got on. He was like, he was out one day and then came home and said, "Okay, man, I'm gonna get on Misconnections and describe someone I saw today."
Mm-hmm. It's like if I went home and I was like,
"Okay,
dude, at the podcast taping, if you had a black hat on, and a flannel shirt,
if that's what does it for you, then I guess cool."
It's like you're stating random facts.
He is just stating random facts.
He is giving a compliment at least.
Yeah. This one right here,
but
UPS.
It's a creepy compliment.
UPS driver, you left a package on my front deck. I then came out and waved at you. You were trim with close cropped hair. Let's have a proper introduction. Looking for fun. Oh, just looking for fun.
Oh man, for your
straight
UPS
up for
driver?
their UPS driver.
Whoa.
Like, do you want to ruin mail for your life?
Yeah.
Like, dude, one bad move with that UPS driver and getting an Amazon package is fucked forever.
Well, I mean, you just have to go through the postal service.
That's true.
USPS. You just couldn't.
That's true.
You couldn't do special.
Anything you're
stuff.
used to order in life that like, you know, you're used to ordering it and it comes
you're gonna
via
have to switch
UPS.
to DHL.
Go ahead and don't ever use UPS again. If you date your UPS driver and then things go south, you left a package on my front deck. I don't know. It just
leaving a package on your front deck sounds suspicious, but
it does.
We're gonna skip that
because it's kind of like, well, yeah, that's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
UPS drivers deliver packages. Redhead at Walmart. Saw you in the store, then bumped into you again in the parking lot. Wish I had said more and asked for your number. I'd love to get to know you better. If you find this, tell me why you asked me to roll my window down.
Okay.
If you tell me why you asked me to roll my window down.
So I think this one is used for the right.
Do you think so?
I think so.
That's why I pulled this one.
I think this
because
is used
I thought
for
like
the correct usage if you're gonna do it.
Did this guy just say like, wait, she tried to talk to him too? Like,
yeah, I think they talked.
That's how you read it too. He said something.
I think he was in the Walmart parking lot. I think she was in the parking lot and asked him to roll his window down to ask him something, and they talked for a second,
right.
And then he was like, "Man, I wish I'd got her number."
Yeah.
And so he put this on here, and he's saying, "Tell me why you asked me to roll my window down," so he knows that it's her.
Right. Okay. And she can also clarify.
I'm sorry.
He's
what using verification, things that are proven facts, and he wants verification back. I think that this is.
So this is.
I think it's used for its accurate purpose.
Did we find?
I think we found
so
the
far.
one.
We've found one.
God, how is it
Wow.
Newport? Newport. I can't believe it came from there.
Man, beautiful blonde in a black Jeep. Jessica?
Restaurant.
Yeah, he's very specific. He wants you to know. I mean, he was at the restaurant. Hey, you came in to pick up your lunch order. The only reason I didn't talk to you was my friend was in the middle of telling me something, and I didn't want to be rude and cut him off in mid-sentence.
If doing a lot of explaining already off the bat.
Too much.
You are already apologizing for something you don't need to apologize for. Go ahead.
Thank you. Yep. Anyway, he said you came back in for extra sauce for your lunch while I was in the restroom.
Oh, too much information. Why are you talking about the bathroom?
Can't believe missed the chance to talk with you twice in one day. Where are you now? I'm headed back to LA. Oh, what a baller move that is right there. First of all, you're right. Over-explained. All of it. Too much.
I think this is all one humble brag to say that he's moving to LA.
Yeah, that's kind of how I see this too, yeah.
It's like, hope you're all right.
Beautiful
I'm moving
blonde
to
and
LA.
black Jeep. I missed the chance to talk to you twice. Hey, peace out. Moving to
I'm
California.
headed back to LA. So even if you are interested, there's nothing we can do really about it. I'm moving back to LA.
But he wanted to over-explain the situation that his friend was telling a story.
He just didn't want to be rude. He didn't want to be rude.
Didn't want to stop him.
He doesn't want to see you again. He just wants to make sure you're cool. You didn't think he was being rude.
Oh, but then you came back in. Apparently, you just have to know. He came back in. You came back in to get some sauce.
You were totally hot enough for me to talk to. I should have talked to you.
Should have.
I'm just telling you it was an accident.
But then I was in the bathroom.
I was
in the bathroom when you came in.
Oh man,
for
I
some
was
sauce.
I was pooping when you came in for extra sauce, and I missed you. Sorry.
Man, talk about Duncan.
Ooh,
Okay.
what
yes.
is?
Oh, I don't know.
Why does that? That even makes
Sauce,
sense.
like sauce, and then he was taking.
Oh, that took an extra step
sorry,
for me to
I know.
get there.
Sorry, girl with good head on her shoulders.
With the good head on her shoulders.
Okay, looking for the girl with the good head on her shoulders, and anyone having that attribute. Anyone having
and enjoys having that attribute.
You know who you,
just
are.
Totally read that completely wrong.
You know who you are. Email me.
You made it different than what it was.
It's not that much different. Looking for the girl with the good head on her shoulders and enjoys having that attribute. You know who you are.
You said anyone.
I have dyslexia.
You said or anyone.
I read it wrong.
But
I
if you
have
say
a mental
or
disorder.
anyone,
Thank
it
you.
says that
Point it
he's
out.
looking for that girl or just anyone.
Shame me. I have dyslexia. Make me feel bad about it.
I think you're drawing for something here that's not there.
I just read it wrong. I mean, I do have dyslexia. But
I'm
yes,
just saying the way you read it.
Okay, but he's looking for
Okay.
a girl, like any girl. It doesn't matter.
No, the girl.
Well, but that's not specific though. He's not saying who this is. He's basically just saying like,
No, this
are
guy
you-
saw a girl. He saw his. Oh, she's one of the ones that has the good head on her shoulders. He saw her, and if she's the girl, she's gonna know. Like, oh, I'm the one with the good head on my shoulders. I need to find this man because there's only one person.
You think there's only one person that thinks they are the girl with the good head on her shoulders?
For this guy, maybe. You know who you are. See, she
You know
knows
who
she
he
is.
Yeah, I mean, he says she does.
Yeah.
You know who you are. Email me.
Yeah.
Oh.
What if
so
this
it's
is
that
some
easy?
kind of like a?
He's just, dude, he's looking for just a girl. Like, this isn't a guy that's like actually.
He says the good head. He's looking for a girl that gives good head.
Yes.
That's what he's looking for.
Innuendo. What I was thinking.
Innuendo.
Ooh, that was good. Starbucks, Oak Ridge.
Oh, I've been there.
You complimented my hair at Starbucks. Okay.
Didn't do
starts off at a good place. You compliment my hair at Starbucks. If you were the lady that, and he gave like map data of like where it was at. Okay.
Well, that's
if
smart.
you were the lady that came to my table to compliment my hair at Starbucks, Oak Ridge. Third time, thrice. He has to say it thrice.
Okay.
Okay. So he just has to let you know Starbucks at Oak Ridge.
He really wants to let
Yep.
you know.
So hit me up. It was like a year ago.
Statute of limitations.
It was like a year ago. I know this is a long shot, but on a Saturday around 11:30, I would love to know more about you.
This guy or girl, whoever this is, sounds like they've been thinking about this a long time.
Let me ask you.
They thought a year about it before they put a misconnection up.
Right.
A year.
A year. So do you think this is real? Do you think or do you think he's just like hoping that a girl that maybe he like goes to Oak Ridge Starbucks a lot now, right? And like maybe he just like sees someone on a regular basis and he's like, oh hey,
Somebody's gonna get on here and think
like that's
hey, there's a nice haired dude that goes to my local
he has
Starbucks
nice
at
hair,
Oak
and I've
Ridge.
told him I should look out for the nice haired guy.
Yeah.
That's it. Because he did drop his location
3 times.
thrice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What's next?
Kroger gas station, Broadway. Hello.
Oh.
You were an attractive blonde petite lady.
Oh, is this Fellini Kroger?
Yep.
Okay.
You looked. I used to live by this, and just so you know, the area. If you don't live in Knoxville, the area
Which you probably don't.
In and around this, it's a unique place. I loved it. It's a unique place to live. All I'm going to say. Hello, you were an There's a reason it's called the Fellini Kroger.
Yeah.
If you've seen a Fellini film, you know exactly what. Okay. Hello, I'm over-explaining.
Yeah.
You were an attractive blonde petite lady. You looked at me and smiled and said, "Have a good day." I replied, "You too, beautiful," as you drove off in a burgundy Mercury. If you see this call or text me, ask for Alan.
Oh.
Yeah, so he got as far as like, I guess maybe he knows who she is. He says I replied, "You too, beautiful," as you drove off. Like, so did she hear you? Was the window rolled down? You're like, "You beautiful."
Oh yeah, he totally.
As she drove away, like,
It totally didn't say it. Totally didn't say it in earshot.
Do you think so? Do you think she heard like that? She thought she was in on it. Was she in on this conversation that he had with himself?
Here's what I think happened. I think that she said, "Have a good day," and drove off.
Because she was being nice. She was being polite.
She probably just said thanks and walked off. He's like, "Oh man, I really should have said, 'Hey, you too, beautiful,' because that would have let her know because she was hot." And then he's like, "Man, I wish I would have said that. How could I go back in time and say that? I'm going to make a misconnection about it where I actually said it," and she'll be like, "Oh, I didn't know he said that."
Oh, what a sweetheart! I should
jokes
email
on him though, because no one's going to look for that
unless they're doing what we're doing, which is looking for it to like.
What if you found one about yourself one day?
That'd be crazy.
That would be crazy.
I mean, I don't know how.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I would even know it would, but
you'd know
that it was me.
They always say
that's true. They say
you
know it's you. You'll know who you are.
Yeah.
Bosses. This one starts great. Boss's sis-in-law.
Oh.
Okay, so we're gonna start with
sounds like a cool
someone's boss.
CW
cool way to get fired.
TV show.
Cool way to get fired.
CW
like
show.
To lose your job, livelihood.
Next on the Boss's Sis-in-Law, starring Roseanne Barr.
Boss's sister-in-law. We had dinner tonight. We exchanged something with our eyes. So they were at probably a company retreat sort of dinner. We exchanged with ours. You're a bit older, but I thought you were so hot. Let's talk more. At a company event. It
might not be a company event.
Well, but it's when would this random person be with his boss's sister-in-law?
If your boss owns a lawn care service, you might just go over to his house for dinner.
Is that how it works?
I mean, yeah. What? Why not?
Okay, boss's sister-in-law. I'm just assuming that he works for a guy, and they were all out at this company dinner, and like the boss had his sister-in-law.
If your boss
and they made eyes. He made eyes like with.
Maybe he's friends with the boss.
I just feel like he's treading some dangerous
it's sister-in-law.
waters,
It's not the boss's sister.
Oh.
It's his wife or husband's sister.
You just made it worse by putting it that way. Like, yes, exactly. It's his boss's sister's husband.
Oh wait, I think I'm just catching what this is now. Sister-in-law.
Boss's
sister-in-law. It's his wife's sister. Right?
Sister.
Possibly.
In-law. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a sister, but it's not your birth sister. It's your sister on your wife's side. It's like one of her sisters growing up.
Eyes at the,
well, I'm just saying, at least it wasn't the bosses. There's no blood tie there. He probably won't be as like protective over that as he would.
He's more
his wife's
forgiving.
sister.
This is fine. Everything's fine here.
You can make eyes.
That's true.
What's wrong with them making eyes at the girl?
What do you
now,
think the
this
likelihood
is
is?
suspect about putting this on.
No, what do
here,
you think the
but,
likelihood is that like right?
Well, there's
that's
no,
it.
There's
do you
no
think
like
that she
it's
gave
like,
him eyes?
I
Like,
think
come
that's
on.
their way. Like they really probably wanted to say something, but they know like I don't
I
have
can't
the
do it.
guts to say something, so I'm just
Not
going to
at
put
the-
this in the ether so I can at least feel like I did something.
I can't say anything at the company picnic.
Yeah,
You know, you can't.
it's not like he
can't,
said,
like,
"Hey, I noticed your boobies earlier" and stuff. Like at least he's being respectful.
that's true. He was respectful.
Or she.
That's
or she.
That's
I keep
true.
thinking it's a dude because
You
these,
do, yeah.
because most it seems like such a dude behavior to like post a misconnection.
straight up women
like
do
that.
not post.
I'm sure some do.
Yeah, maybe they do, but
But
I
it
think
seems
the
more of like a-
ratio spread probably dudes.
Yeah,
to
I'd say
women. We got one more. DoorDash cutie. Yeah, this is great. You delivered my food this afternoon on this rainy day. Oh, rainy Labor Day.
Oh.
You were wearing a blue tank top, kind of looked tie-dye, and a pair of shorts. Oh, he definitely saw her. I don't ever see my DoorDash person. You were absolutely gorgeous. Your smile is absolutely breathtaking. I would love to take you out on a date and get to know you better. If you happen to get on here and read this, she won't. Just respond with what kind of car you were driving. Creepy. So I know it's you. Hope to hear from you. So this one I think might be real.
But don't you have access to who your driver was? And
I do think it says
able
their
to
name and their car.
correspond with them.
I think that you just text like the general number. I think because like whenever I get a DoorDash text message, it always comes from the person who delivered before.
Yeah.
Like I never like clear or delete it out, and so
Gotcha.
like it always just like comes from the same.
Yeah.
As DoorDash, they have like a number that they
Right.
can text with customers from.
But I think that it's like a.
But I
like
guess he could still find out.
It's like
for sure.
a center number.
Someone
that
will
would
read
go
it.
here and then go here or to here.
That's true.
here, here.
Someone could read
Right.
it and say, "Why that was
Let's
Ashley
put this
H."
guy on the
Let's-
list of not deliverable.
Oh, you went the other way. I was gonna say, let's tell Ashley H. She has a crush.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're not gonna tell her, right?
Just
Like,
keep ordering
even
until
if
she shows
someone
up again. Be crazy.
creepy.
Be crazy.
It's
What's
all-
creepier? What's creepier?
Well, I mean, it's creepy that he posted this, but to wait for her to like.
Well, you can hope. I'm not
I mean,
saying
yeah,
that
that's
you keep
true.
ordering
Okay.
food all day long until
I
she
see what you're
shows
saying.
up
I
at
see
your
what you're saying.
She's
You're saying like that happenstance brings her.
saying maybe
back
maybe she'll
around
come back
once
into your
more.
life. There's
And you
definitely
know
a
what?
better chance of that and more natural chance
And
of
you know
that
what?
than posting a misconnection because that just makes it
Absolutely.
start out creepy. No one's going to take that well.
Instead of misconnections, get fat.
What?
Order more food.
Oh,
From
okay.
DoorDash.
Yeah.
Order as much food as you like. Order daily
You
from
can
DoorDash.
you can order stuff from Walgreens. Maybe you get your vitamins and stuff.
That is true. That is true. Maybe
Maybe you
he's-
get like workout stuff.
you
Like
think
hey,
he's using DoorDash for like all of the
Yeah.
like different
Yeah.
variable reasons.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can use it.
Man.
Stop and get me a
Stop and
muscle
give me a-
milk.
Right.
Show up to the door like, oh hey,
Hey,
Thanks.
lady in the tank top and the shorts. I need.
I think you delivered
a
my
muscle
stuff the
milk.
other day. You did a great job.
I would love for you to deliver to me again. Muscle milk only, please. That's all I want. Or if you could bring me some protein bars. We're working on mass.
I'm getting tanked.
Working on mass.
All right.
All right, here we go. Here.
You got it. You do it this time.
Oh. All right. What are we drawing for here?
I don't know.
What's today's theme? Today, we're just gonna go
Dealer's choice.
Like,
let's just take whatever
daily
meaning we
theme.
want to
We're
find.
gonna take this card, and that's just the card of the episode.
I get
really.
stressed out trying to think of a
like-
question. Sometimes.
Me too. And so like I like to go with just
that might not be
overarching themes.
It might be bad though. Inverted Seven of Swords. I get the Seven of Swords so much.
I feel like I do too. And I feel like I get an inverted Seven of Swords more than a regular.
Let's see.
So Derek is going to now, with his handy dandy phone, tell us what exactly we all can come to expect
Let's
with
see.
the Seven of Swords. Man, that's sad.
Are you really being honest with yourself? Do you really want to be doing what you're currently doing, or have you convinced yourself to keep going because it's what you feel like you should want?
That's deep.
Seven of Swords Okay, upright. So usually it's the opposite of upright.
Yeah,
so it should mean to not use your wits for diplomacy and use aggression.
Man, you're really bumming me out with your background there. I'm gonna just like give like the meaning of the card because
that's what I'm trying to find.
You're getting very specific.
Oh, it also says you're probably gonna die later today.
You're gonna die later.
3:17.
If you are reading, if you're listening or watching this podcast, you're probably going to die. No, that's not how that works. So this is a swords and so inverted. What this means is lack of movement, unresolved anxieties, lack of support, and unfavorable lawsuits. So all in all,
unfavorable lawsuits?
we've all got like bad things coming our way this week. So let's try to think positive.
Yeah.
Get through positivity back into our day to day, and maybe we won't all have the worst week ever. That's all we can hope for, right? You can hope.
All you can hope for.
All you can hope for is that you can continue to get better and better, day by day by day.
Dear Lord, these things I pray.
Dear Lord, these things I pray.
To love thee more dearly.
To follow thee
more nearly. And to